So, a 7-night cruise to northern Spain and France in April 2025, the week just before Easter. Previously, whenever I've cruised to northern Spain, the weather has not been kind. What will it be like on this cruise? And what is the hidden gem in Cherbourg? Stick around and find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to Love a Sea Day. So this was the weather that greeted us on arrival into El Ferrol. Very grey and rather wet, but the forecast was for an improvement with some sunny spells a bit later on. So not to be deterred, we headed out and explored El Ferrol. Right next to the cruise terminal was this lovely marina area, and you walked round it on your way into El Ferrol. Happily on this occasion the forecast was correct and the sun did put in an appearance, although as you can see there was a lot of cloud around and it was threatening some showers. Just a few minutes walk from the cruise terminal is the Arsenal de Ferrol. It is the main Spanish naval base on the Atlantic. There was a guard on the gate, so we did ask whether or not it was okay to take photos, and he said that was fine. So we went ahead and took some pictures. The Cathedral of St. Julian is dedicated to the patron saint of the city of Ferrol. It was completed in 1772 and in 1959 it was elevated to the status of co-cathedral. This building in Constitution Square has had many uses over the years, but it is currently used for cultural exhibitions. Dominating the wide open space of Armas Square is Ferrol City Hall. On the opposite side of the square you can see these buildings with multiple windows. This architectural style is very common in Galicia, and you can see it in other places such as La Coruña just further along the coast. As the rain had returned, we briefly took shelter at the top of the steps at the front of the City Hall before carrying on our wanders. Another of the main squares in Ferrol is Amboage Square. I liked this square, it was very pretty with some trees, there was a statue, and there are also further examples of the buildings with the multiple windows, which is a feature of many of the buildings in this region of northern Spain. This obelisk is a monument to a Spanish naval officer who died during the Battle of Trafalgar. The gardens overlook the Arsenal de Ferrol. Also in the gardens is the statue of the Marquis of Ensenada, a Spanish statesman with associations with the Spanish Navy, including the arsenal here in Ferrol. He went on to hold a number of positions of state, including Prime Minister. So after a lovely day exploring Ferrol, we set sail for our next port of call, Gijón. So here we are in Gijón, and once again the weather is not on our side unfortunately, with quite a lot of grey skies and some rain, but we are hoping to see a little bit of sun a bit later on. So after being dropped off by the shuttle bus, it was a few minutes walk until we got here to the Gijón Marina. Our main focus of where we wanted to explore today was the old part of Gijón, Cima. Located opposite the Gijón Marina, this beautiful building dates from the 18th century, although one of its towers is older than that, from the 15th century. Today it holds a variety of exhibitions. Next to this building is the statue of Don Peleo, or Rex Pelagius. He was a nobleman who founded the Christian kingdom of Asturias in 718. So we made our way up through the old streets of Cima. Unfortunately, the weather had really closed in at this point and it was raining really hard, so not great for taking photographs or video. But we made our way up to the highest point and to this unusual structure, which is a sculpture called the Elogio del Horizonte. Unfortunately, because of the weather, we didn't get great views out across the Cantabrian Sea, but on a sunny, clear day, I can imagine it would be rather beautiful. Having made our way down from the sculpture, we found ourselves in Plaza Mayor, one of the main squares in Cima. Plaza Mayor is definitely worth a visit. There are some lovely buildings on every side and there's a good selection of bars. Although it was fairly quiet when we were there, possibly because of the weather, I can imagine it's quite a lively spot. It's definitely worth a visit. Just a short walk from Plaza Mayor brings you to San Lorenzo Beach. At the western end of San Lorenzo Beach is this statue to Octavio Augusto, the first emperor of Rome. Just along from the statue is the rather discreet entrance to the Campo Valdez Roman baths. If, like me, you're interested in Roman history, then I would recommend visiting. The entrance is down a slope because the remains of the baths are underground, but it's free to enter and it's absolutely fascinating, so do check it out. The weather had improved somewhat by this point, and it was nice to be able to explore some of Gijón in the sunshine. Well, what an absolutely gorgeous day we had on arrival to our next port of call, Santander. These were the views from our balcony. Santander is a very easy city to explore on foot. It was very busy when we were there, possibly because of the timing. It was the Thursday just before Easter. This is the Church of Santa Lucia. Santander Cathedral is actually made up of two churches and is built over the site of some Roman ruins. The cathedral suffered serious damage during the devastating fire of 1941, which destroyed much of the historic old town of Santander. Our next stop was Plaza Porticada. This is the location of Santander Town Hall. This building is the Menendez Pelayo Library. It houses the collection of Marcelino Menendez Pelayo, a Spanish scholar and historian who bequeathed his collection to the city of Santander upon his death in 1912. Behind the library is the Menendez Pelayo House Museum. It is the family home of Menendez Pelayo and it is open to the public, where a number of rooms are available to see. On our way back to Arcadia, we came across this wall with writing on it. If anybody knows what this wall is about, let me know in the comments below. It was a beautiful evening for our sail away from Santander. As we sailed away, we went past this peninsula, and the building you can see is the Magdalena Palace. This was the summer residence of the Spanish royal family from 1913 through to the proclamation of the Second Spanish Republic in 1931. We saw dozens and dozens of these small yachts as we were sailing out. They were heading back into Santander, and I presume it was some kind of sailing school. As we were cruising the week before Easter, we were treated to this display of beautiful Easter eggs outside the Meridian main dining room. As you can see, it's for display purposes only, so no nibbling. There was also this huge sparkly egg outside the Palladium Theatre. Our final port of call was Cherbourg in France. Arcadia was docked alongside the Cité de la Mer, so it was just a few minutes' walk round past the marina into the town. I love the sound of those yacht masts. They always remind me of a wind chime. When we left Santander, the weather forecast for our day in Cherbourg had been for a rainy day, so we were very pleasantly surprised to find on arrival into Cherbourg beautiful sunny weather, which was absolutely perfect for exploring. We didn't have a particular plan for how we wanted to spend our day in Cherbourg. It was just a day to wander around and see what we could find. One of the things we came across was this lovely market, and it was beautiful, all the fruit and veg laid out. We did have one place that we wanted to see though, and what an absolute hidden gem it turned out to be. Emmanuel Lié Park in the centre of Cherbourg is a real oasis of peace and tranquility. It was created by Emmanuel Lié, a former mayor, astronomer and botany enthusiast who'd frequently travelled to Brazil and brought back a number of South American plants. He created this beautiful exotic garden which contains greenhouses and also has an observation tower and a lake. His home in the park is a natural history museum. While we were in the park, there were a number of artists painting or drawing, possibly from a local art school or art group. It was obviously a very popular spot. I loved this park. It was full of colour with beautiful azaleas, lots of trees. There are a number of entrances, but they are quite discreet, so could easily be missed, but it's definitely worth seeking out. It's absolutely beautiful and very much worth a visit. So if you haven't already guessed, yes, Parc Emmanuel Lié is the hidden gem in Cherbourg. After the peace and tranquility of Emmanuel Lié Park, it was time to head back out to the hustle and bustle of Cherbourg. As we wandered back past the marina on our way back to the cruise port, we caught a glimpse of Arcadia docked alongside the Cité de la Mer. Our route took us past the Basilica of the Holy Trinity, believed to be one of the earliest neo-Gothic churches in France. Back on board Arcadia, we had one more night on board before we were due to arrive back into Southampton on Easter Sunday, after a lovely week in northern Spain and France. So yes, once again, we didn't have the best weather for cruising to northern Spain, but we did see some sunshine as well. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and also subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.